Ruben Frank, NBC Sports in Philadelphia.
Good to see you, Ruben.
Good to see you, too. Thanks for coming. Hey, it could be a potentially tricky. Kenny Gainwell's reps obviously have gone up in the playoffs. Miles have gone down slightly. It could be a tricky dynamic between running back one and running back two. How have you navigated that, and how have you seen it work with them?
You know, it's situations within the game of where that's coming from. Sometimes there's a little bit more third down. Sometimes there's a little bit more 2-minute. You know, Kenny goes in on those scenarios. And then there's some things that happen in no huddle after those situations where it kind of works itself out that way. But, you know, the reps have been somewhat even here over the last couple of weeks, and they've both put in good time, really good work, and we'll keep rolling with that. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Federico Olvera from Mexico City, from Damebola.
I remember you from yesterday.
Yeah. Coach. What are those main factors, the biggest factors that did change from the last season to this one, that you guys are in the Super Bowl? Maybe the free agency, the draft. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys have improved. You know, we've definitely added to our roster. Howie did a great job of adding really good talent to our roster. The guys that have been here continued to improve, continued to be, dialed into the systems that we're running, the things that we're doing, and so it's a little bit of both. But the guys have played at a really high level. And you know, last year we started in a little bit of a hole, and then got hot late, and so we're just riding a little bit of that momentum from last year as well. Front left. I don't call on anybody. I'm sorry.
Mark Meany, ABC, Philadelphia. I'm fully aware that it is this is the next game mentality. But do you let yourself have some pride, not even just for yourself, for your team, the organization, even the city of Philadelphia, to be in the spot, one of the last two teams standing?
Well, sure. You're happy that you're in this situation. You're happy you're still playing football, and you take a lot of pride in that. But we're not making it any bigger than what is our next game, and in the same routine, everything like that. We understand it's the Super Bowl. We're excited to be here, but we're going through the process the same way we've been going through it. I know that doesn't make for great news and great headlines, but that's just the way that's the way we've handled it for 20 weeks, and we're going to continue to handle it that way.
Hey, Nick, Sal Palantonio, ESPN.
Hey, Sal.
Nick, in his 3 losses in the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes lost a turnover battle and also time of possession. How important is it to play keep away from Patrick Mahomes?
Our job is to score points on offense. And so sometimes that's the way you play it is a keep away battle. Sometimes it is to try to score as many points as you possibly can. I've always been in the school of scoring as many points as you possibly can and trying to score more than the other guys. That doesn't mean that we, in 2019, we played the Chiefs when we were with the Colts, and it was a little bit of a keep-away game. So I'll keep, so we have that in our pocket. We also think it's important to score points. Obviously, I won't give too much of the game plan away of what we're trying to do, but we also understand how dangerous Patrick Mahomes is and how good of a football player he is. So it's just important that, sometimes – when you do play a keep away battle per se, right? You still got to be good and efficient on third down. You still got to be good and efficient to extend drives. And so, we know how important third down will be, regardless of how we play.
Hi, Rachel Smith from Rising Media Stars. Coach, we know how important Philly fans are and how big this fan base is. Do you think it's going to be a bit different during the Super Bowl? And if so, how are you going to play into that?
I think we know it's going to be noisy either, no matter what. We've our guys that have been here in this position know that there's going to be a split field. And, when we came and played in Arizona earlier in October, it felt like there was more Philly fans here, actually. So we're prepared for that with the crowd noise. I know that I know Chiefs fans are very loud, and I know Philly fans are very loud. So I imagine that when both teams, are on defense, it's going to be loud for both teams. But we know that our fans, we're gonna appreciate the support that we have from them that are there. We know that they'll travel well, and they'll be loud and rowdy for us. Oh, sorry.
Yes, this is Gary Jones from BMH Sports. Normally I ask the players this, what are they doing to, get relaxed? But what are you doing to relax yourself?
Just going through the same process. My time to relax and more so is on Friday. Friday my family's coming in and we'll have dinner together. And Saturday, just like every Saturday, I'll go take a nap. Now, this Saturday, I won't be able to go watch my son play basketball because we're not obviously in Philadelphia. But those are just staying in routine. And really the routine is dinner Friday night with the family and a nap on Saturday.
Nate LaRisha, Mountain Union. Great seeing you, Coach.
Yeah,
Go Purple
go
Raiders. How have your multiple Stag Bowl championship runs prepared you for this moment?
A lot. I think what if you listen close to what I say a lot, there's a lot of references to Coach Karras. So, a lot of references, right? Philly media. I think I probably get one or two Coach Karras references a media session, and I have about 4 of them a week. And so you're gonna hear me talk about him. So with everything that I learned a lot from Mount Union, and I think you'll hear that from a lot of you'll hear that from Matt Campbell at Iowa State. You'll hear that from Jason Candle at Toledo, that we're constantly taking from our mentor, Larry Karras, of what we've learned. Obviously, the week's a little bit different than a Stag Bowl. I think the Stag Bowl, we bust to Virginia from Ohio on Wednesday, and so there wasn't quite the hoopla. So I'm not sure it completely correlates. I know the game was big, but as far as the week and what leads up to it, it might not completely correlate. But what I do know is that when the moment perceived to get bigger and the game perceived to get bigger, Coach Karras had us locked in to do our routine, and I think you've heard me say that over and over again this week, is be in our routine. Don't let the hoopla or the distractions get to you, and just be locked into your routine. So, a lot of the things I'm saying are either coming from probably my dad, Coach Karras, or Frank Wright. So those are my mentors.
Hi there, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
How have your veterans who were a part of Super Bowl 52 helped prepare the rest of the team?
Yeah, again, they just lead by example, and they lead vocally. They lead by example. They do it all, and so they've been leading the entire time, because they know what it's like to get to this moment, and not only get to this moment but win. And so they've really supported what we've been talking about, right? Is just no distractions, because that's what they did when they won in Super Bowl 52. So we have great leaders. It's really rare to have 4 10-year-plus vets on your offense and defensive line that have played in Philadelphia for that long. So, and they know how special to put on an Eagles uniform is. And they lead all our guys, and we're obviously happy they're our captains, our leaders, and we we win and lose games off the O line and D line, and those are good guys to have. Hey, Stacy.
Hey, Nick. My question is, Shane.
Stacy, did you hear my basketball analogy yesterday?
I did.
Okay,
Free
good.
throws.
Yeah. What was your routine?
It was like a 1 bounce, and then just let it rip.
Stacy, I was 1 bounce too, because then I didn't have to think about anything. 1, shoot, let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. After. Okay. Let me get my routine here. So Shane was telling me yesterday that Jalen literally he's never satisfied. What is it going to take to satisfy him, and how does that word resonate with you? His will to win is so strong. I mean, that's why I've compared. That's why I've had those comparisons that I've had for him. And so I think when your will to win is that strong, I don't know if there is much that can satisfy you, because then he's just going to look, if we win this game, he's just going to look to win the next one. And that's what makes him a really good player, and that's what makes him continuing to reach his ceiling, because he's not satisfied. He always knows with all of us, right? We always know that we could do things a little bit better. So that's accountability to me, Stacy, that he's, continuously, hey, he might have played an unbelievable game, but he's looking at the 3 plays he didn't make and saying, man, I can make those, and man, I'm not going to miss those again. He's not a guy that repeats mistakes very often, and that's what makes him special. And so I don't know to answer your question, what's going to make him satisfied? I'm not sure anything because he's always going to say I can do a little bit better. And how do I get? And if we, like I said, if we win this one, how's he going to go out and get the next one? That's just how he is, and that's why he's good.
Nick, over here.
Hey, how you doing?
Ray Garcia, Fox Sports, Mexico. What an honor to follow Canada's best basketball player of all time, Stacey. Nick, I wanted to ask you, you talked about the fans when you were playing away from home, but this season you had the best record playing outside of Philadelphia. Is there something that you do as a head coach or the team does to achieve that success?
You know, just the way we prepare in the week and just keeping the same routine. You know, as that we have each week. You know, there's some different things when we travel west that we do. Yeah, obviously I won't let some of those secrets out. You know, but there are different things we do based off of, you know, you're playing an away Thursday night game. Well, there's a schedule for that. You know, you're playing a West Coast game. There's a schedule for that. And so you have all these different schedules that you have to be ready for. We're kind of obsessed with just figuring out, trying to perfect our process, right? Of, you know, whether you're playing a Sunday night game at home or a Monday night game or the away games, like you're saying. So, you know, we just kind of put ourselves in there so we can try to put the players in the best position to have their body. You know, when you talk about travel, it's having their bodies ready to go. And so, you know, any edge we can get, we're trying the hydration, the nutrition on the plane. When you get off the plane, there's nothing we aren't thinking about. You know, in that aspect. So, and the players, you know, are going out and playing really good games on the road. I think that has more to do with it than anything. But, you know, but we'll try to put them in the best spots as possible in everything that we do.
All right, we got back left with Neil here. Hey, Coach. Neil Reynolds from Sky Sports in the UK. Given where you're standing right now, what advice would you give to young coaches who might feel a million miles away from the NFL and from the Super Bowl?
You know, just, you know, work your butt off and continue to work hard at what you love to do. You know, be yourself at all times, and, you know, every detail matters. And so, you know, and sometimes it takes a break, right? Like I got a break, right? I got a break in the sense that, you know, how I got into the league with Coach Haley, Todd Haley. And then with the people that I met and that I've been around, and you know that the Eagles won the Super Bowl 5 years ago, and that my mentor was offense coordinator there, and then he got the head coaching job with the Colts and asked me to be a part of it. So, you know, a lot of times sometimes it's about breaks, and then when you get your opportunity, just go attack it.
Hey, Nick. Brad Gagnon, Bleacher Report. Building on my fellow Canadian Stacey's question about Jalen there, is there anything mechanically, specifically, that you want to work on with him beyond this year? Obviously, the accuracy has taken such a massive improvement in the last couple of years. What's next in terms of what you actually want to work on with him?
That's an off-season thing. Obviously, we're as we go through it and we grade the tape, you're consistently saying, hey, this was really good. You really want to give him positive feedback when he does the things right, and when he doesn't do it the way you envisioned it going, you make those corrections. But I think that's what for the off-season is for, to really redefine. You're always working on fundamentals and getting those fine-tuned, but the off-season really is for it to really have a plan of attack. Like, we want to get better at this, and this, and so we're a little bit. We still got a week left, and we'll dive into that, and not to. I know I'm not answering your question, but you know he'll have things that he'll want to work on, and he'll attack it just like he did last year.
All right, we got a last question here on the left with Zach. Hey Nick, if you think back before the Falcons game last year, you told us you thought about the Saturday night presentation for all types of scenarios: home opener, winning streak, losing streak. Did you ever think about the presentation for a Super Bowl, and what's that thought been like this week?
You know, Zach, I have, and I have definitely thought about that. I had something that I was definitely prepared to do for this moment, but then, you know, I've altered my plan a little bit, and so, you know, what we'll do on Saturday is instead of me talking, instead of you know, a captain talking, I think we're just going to open it up to the floor. Bob, I guess you could go in there and say, all right, Kelsey, you're next. All right, because you're doing such a phenomenal job right now. But that, and then we'll just kind of let everybody talk. I think those are, we used to actually do those in the Stag Bowl in national championship games at Mount Union, and I always thought that was really powerful when all the guys could get up and say what whatever was on their heart to say. So we'll kind of treat it that way. And so, like I said, I think I had a plan in some of my walks around the neighborhood of what I thought about in that particular case. But we're going away from that plan and doing what I just said. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I'm not sure what I can't remember what I said in that 2003 national championship game against St. John's. But we did not. I should have had something written down for it, but I don't have anything for you, Sal.
All right, thanks.
All right.